Welcome to Insightful Tech, hosted by David Gumpper from the Wave Group. Today, we're going to talk about a browser that is making some significant changes coming in January of 2021. And that's going to have an impact to how people view your websites if you haven't taken all the precautions that we spoke about. So listen in. Back in March of 2019, the article that we wrote was this website is not secure. And in the article, we kind of give you an insight to what does it mean that your website should be secure and what is security and how can you tell that it's secure and so forth. And so let's take a quick look at that article just to kind of refresh ourselves on the content of that article and kind of really dive deep into one area where one browser is making a big change coming in 2021, January of 2021. Here's the article. We talk a little bit about HTTPS and HTTP, what's the difference and what is secure and not secure. Non-secure websites are open. In other words, any data that's being passed and forth can be read by others. How that it's important from a consumer's privacy and security to make sure that you do have a secure website. Naturally, there's always a search engine optimization benefit to make sure that your website's secure. Google has made it a mandate that all websites, no matter if they are passing content or registration forms or anything like that on them, should still be secured. But what I'm really concerned about and why I really wrote the article was to inform everybody about the impact that it has on your company's brand image. When people go to your website and if they get some kind of negative response from the browser, that doesn't reflect very well on the company's brand. And this is why we are really looking at this, because Chrome specifically is making a significant change. But right now, if you go to Chrome and if you go to someone's website, it might say HTTPS on it, but it still will have this not secure. Well, what does that mean is that the connection to the site is not secure, but it also could mean that maybe some content that is specifically on that website is not secure. So in other words, your whole website is HTTPS, but let's say you have an image coming from a different source and that source isn't secure. It doesn't use HTTPS, it's using HTTP. That's insecure. And right now, Google and the other browsers in this area will let people know that, hey, the site might be somewhat secure, but it's not all secure. And that goes for video, text, PDF files, audio files, and so forth. So they're really looking at all this. And we kind of talk about that, how it looks like in Chrome. How does a website that is secure looks like in Chrome? See, big difference when it comes to, that brand image. And this is also extends out to mobile devices as well. So it's not just browsers. I know we're just looking at browsers here, but it really is also impacts your iPad, your iPhones, your Androids, the tablets. So these are just all kinds of things that we kind of talked about back in March of 2019 and why it's important for you to start looking at it just from a company brand image. But here's why what I'm going to really focus on is what Google is doing with Chrome. And we're going to go to this article that was written in February of 2020, so earlier this year. And it's been updated in April of 2020. But what they're doing is kind of explaining why they are doing this and why they are making sure that that if there are insecure downloads from a server coming to the browser, that they're going to do something about it. And I'm just going to go right down to this little graph right here. And the text bullet points underneath it, which I'm going to try to pull out here. So this graph here will let you know that as each version of Chrome comes out, the different releases over time, that they are going to take certain steps. So like, for instance, in Chrome 85, they are now, blocking executables such as .exe files. So any link that might be to an exe file or a .apk file or whatever type of file, it will block it automatically, especially if it's coming from a non-secure site. And then that's what they call mixed content downloads. You have some content that's secure, some content that's not secure. Well, this is what's really important starting in Chrome 88 and later. Images, audio, video, and text like PNG files, MP3 for audio, MP4 for video, .mov for video, .pdf for Adobe PDF files. Any kind of file like that is going to be blocked. In other words, if your site is pulling content from an insecure source, or is a mixed content of downloads, they're going to block those images. And we're going to kind of scroll down to this last bullet point here where you can see this is what's coming up in January of 2021 on Chrome. Chrome 88, which is scheduled to be released in January of 2021, will now block all mixed content downloads. So that's your images and so forth. And that's really important because, unfortunately, I kind of took a gander around the real estate space of websites, and you would be surprised on how many sites have mixed content downloads, secure and insecure downloads of images. And they're mostly all images, some files. Most of your core corporate sites, especially on the residential side, are pretty much okay, especially if you're on a platform like Moxie Works or Reliance Networks, Delta Media, and others. But here's where I find that we are missing the boat on a lot, and that's on your ancillary service websites, your mortgage, your title, your insurance, your rentals, your commercial websites. I was completely surprised by how many websites that I've kind of went through and saw that this was a big issue. That I'm being notified that there's mixed content, secure and insecure downloads occurring on a website, on a mortgage website. How much of a brand negative is that? It really is. I'm sorry, I spaced there. I didn't space. I'm kind of just, I was lost for words to really say, hey, and it wasn't just one or two, it was several of them. So doesn't speak very well for the brand when someone goes to your website and it says not secure, especially when you're talking about mortgage. And worst part about it is really simple stuff. It's really just images coming from an insecure site. All you got to do is secure those servers so that they are delivering content securely. And that's why it's important. And to end this, why am I so focused that this is a Chrome and Chrome is going to do this? I believe the other browsers are also going to eventually follow suit with Google and what they're doing with Chrome. But Chrome happens to be, as we will see from this page, boom, from the stat counter on browser market share worldwide, Chrome happens to be close 66, 63% at the end of November here of the market share. Substantially a lot more than all the others combined as far as market share goes. So, which means most people use Chrome. They use Chrome on their tablets, on their mobile devices, and their laptops and desktops. So it's very prominent. And as of January 2021, people are going to start not seeing images if they're coming from an insecure source. So what you need to do now over the next 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks before the release of Chrome 88 comes out is do an audit real quick. Take a look at all of your websites, including blogs. That's the other biggest offender that I found was blogs that are not hosted within your own website platform. They're hosted through WordPress on an external WordPress site or Drupal or Joomla or PHP or whatever, I'm finding that a lot of them also have mixed content downloads into them. So in other words, they're secured, but they have content that's being downloaded to the browser that's insecure. And starting in January 2021 sometime, those downloads are not going to happen. So what you're going to get is customers are going to get pages that will not have images in them, because if those images are coming from an insecure source, they're just not going to be downloaded. It'll be blank space. So do your audit, take a look, be prepared, and take care of it before January of 2021. So thank you very much for this edition of Insightful Tech. Take care. And as always, be safe and be happy and be better. Take care.